It is striking how loudly the silence speaks when you lose somebody that you love. Although my father is gone, his echo remains. Not only in the boots he wore and the tools he used, but in every notch, column, and beam. Every facet of this cabin echoes his memory. After visiting the cabin, I decided to retrace my father's footsteps, to journey back into the distant echoes of his past. 1 kilometer west of the cabin, and 70 years back in time, this is where Senior Outsider was born. The hand-hewn, lantern-lit log cabin in which he was raised is long gone, but the hand pump from which he drank, bathed, and watered the livestock still stands guard over the ancient hand-dug well. Believe it or not, this is the very spot in 1958 where my father and grandfather were picking stones in this field when they witnessed a Canadian icon, the Avro Arrow, soaring over their heads and banking to the south. As a young boy who was raised without the modern comforts of hydro, telephone, or even indoor plumbing, the Avro Arrow must have seemed light years ahead of its time, and truly it was. Only a stone's throw away, this is where the log barn used to stand. Only the foundation stones are visible now, along with some half-buried hardware. The barn itself was dismantled in the 60s, and the cedar logs were used to build another structure several kilometers away, which still stands to this day. Got some old roofing steel there. And this looks to be a part of the old slab floor in the barn. As I picked through the rubble of the old barn foundation, I searched for something, anything which might link me back to my father's formative years. A lost toy, or even a button of his, would have been a precious find. Oh! Oh my goodness, look at this. Wow. Last Father's Day, it occurred to me that we often say the nicest things about those we love after they're already gone, and how truly tragic that is. With that in mind, I wrote an open letter to my dad to honor him on Father's Day, and I posted it to my YouTube community page. Senior Outsider was never one to desire attention or expect praise for his work, as is the case with all those who are humble and honorable. It never even occurred to him that he was due such accolades, although he most certainly was, and is. His reward was in the doing, and in the sharing of an adventure with his son. In retrospect, I realized that my letter to Senior Outsider probably had more to do with divine design than it did impulse, as I had originally assumed. not knowing that less than a year later, my father would be called onward and upward to his eternal home. The silver lining in this great earthly loss of mine is that I was able to say what I needed to say to the man who shapes me into the man I am today. My last letter to him is as follows. The legend himself, senior outsider, my dad, thank you for your strong yet gentle leadership, for letting me make my own mistakes and then showing me how to fix it without uttering a single "I told you so," even though you could have. I learned the value of character, family, and faith by watching you. Thanks for living it. Thanks for buying me my first chainsaw when I was too broke to afford one. I put that little Poulan to work though, didn't I? Built a couple log cabins with it so far, with you by my side, of course. And then there was the day that the tractor broke down on me, at the worst time. I was stranded in the bush with a sawmill in tow and a thunderstorm on the way. Mrs. Outsider was at home sick, and I needed to get home to her. I was exhausted and discouraged beyond belief. When you found me, I told you I was fine, but you saw the tears in my eyes. Without a word, you pulled me into a big bear hug. Then you rolled up your sleeves, and we got to work. Thanks for being my strength when mine fails. Thanks for teaching me that even the strongest men need Jesus. I remember many a morning coming down the stairs for breakfast and seeing your head prayerfully bowed over a marked up Bible. Thanks for talking the talk and walking the walk. I could go on, but I'll stop here. Thanks for being my hero. Until we meet again.